Have you ever noticed how we treat happiness like a destination? We tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when I finally buy that house. I'll be happy when the weekend gets here. It is always about some future moment. But let's be totally honest for a second. What happens when you actually get there? The excitement lasts for a day, maybe a week, and then it just fades. The goalposts move. You're back to waiting, back to striving for the next big milestone. It becomes a never-ending loop. You finish one race, and instead of catching your breath, you immediately start sprinting toward another finish line. We've been sold this massive lie that happiness is a prize you win after surviving a mountain of stress. We think it's something we have to earn by burning ourselves out. But real life doesn't wait for things to be perfect. Your schedule is chaotic. The house gets messy. Things go wrong unexpectedly. Bills show up. Plans fall apart. If we only allow ourselves to be happy when everything is flawless, we're going to be waiting forever. Perfection is a ghost we keep chasing, and it always stays just out of reach. What if happiness isn't a reward at all? What if it's just a brain muscle? A tiny, daily habit you build into your ordinary, messy life right now today? Think about it. We go to the gym to train our bodies, but we completely neglect training our minds for peace. Today, we are cutting through the motivational fluff and the toxic positivity. I want to share a few dead simple, real-world practices that can genuinely shift your day, starting immediately. No fake smiles required. Let's dive deep into this. Let's start with something you can do in literally 30 seconds. It requires zero prep work and costs absolutely nothing. Psychologists call it savoring, but let's just call it what it really is. Paying attention to something in your life that doesn't actually suck. We are surrounded by small, pleasant things every single day, but our minds are so heavily programmed to look for problems that we walk right past them. Think about your morning coffee or tea. Usually, what do? We take a quick sip while furiously checking emails, scrolling through terrible news on social media, or stressing out over our daily to-do list. We treat the drink like fuel to survive the morning rather than something to enjoy. We completely miss it. Your body is in 2026, but your brain is already fighting battles 3 steps ahead in the afternoon. Tomorrow morning, I want you to try a micro-moment reset. For just 3 sips, put the phone face down on the table. Move it out of arm's reach if you have to. Feel the physical warmth of the mug radiating into your hands. Actually taste the liquid. Smell the aroma rising from the cup. Watch the steam fade into the air. It sounds almost too simple to work, right? It sounds like silly advice. But medically speaking, this tiny pause acts like a literal circuit breaker for your overloaded nervous system. It yanks your brain out of fight or flight mode and drops you safely back into reality. You are actively training your mind to recognize that peace exists right here, in the middle of the daily grind. You don't need a beach vacation to find calm. You just need 3 quiet sips on a random Tuesday. Now, let's talk about the mental loop that secretly drains most of our daily joy without us even realizing it. It's our vocabulary. The specific words we use inside our own heads matter immensely. Think about how many times a day you say the words, I have to go to work. I have to clean the heavy grease off the kitchen counters. I have to pick up the groceries. I have to reply to these annoying messages. When you repeat this phrase over and over, it slowly makes your life feel like a heavy, never-ending list of mandatory chores. You start to feel trapped. You feel like a robot just checking off boxes to make it to the end of the day. It builds a subtle, constant layer of resentment toward your own life. Here's a tiny linguistic trick that completely flipped my perspective, and it only requires swapping just one single word. Change I have to I get to. Let it sink in for a second. I get to go to work, which actually means I have a steady source of income when so many are struggling to find jobs. I get to clean the kitchen, which means I had fresh food to cook and a safe roof over my head tonight. I get to pick up the kids, which means I have a beautiful family to hold close. Look, I'm not saying this mental shift makes annoying, frustrating tasks suddenly magical. Cleaning a messy house or dealing with a difficult client still isn't pure joy, but it completely shifts your baseline from resentment to radical awareness. It forces your brain to remember a hard truth. The things we are actively complaining about are often the exact things someone else out there is desperately praying for. It turns a chore into a privilege. Moving on, let's look at how we end our days. Social media absolutely loves to show us these beautiful, elaborate 10-step evening routines. You know what I'm talking about. The videos with perfectly scented candles, journaling thoughts for an hour in a pristine notebook, and elaborate meditation setups with soft lighting. Honestly, most nights, we are just way too tired for that. We come home exhausted, and when we fail to do this perfect routine, we feel guilty. We feel like we're failing at self-care too. Let's lower the bar entirely. A low expectation evening routine isn't about doing more tasks. It's about creating a strict, protective boundary between the world's endless demands and your personal peace. It's about learning to shut the door on the day. The easiest, most effective way to do this is what I call the digital sunset. Pick a specific time every evening. Let's say 9 p.m. Put your phone on a charger completely across the room, far away from your bed. If your phone is the absolute last thing you look at before closing your eyes, your brain is actively processing other people's curated lives, global anxieties, and urgent work emails right before you try to rest. You're inviting the whole chaotic world into your bed. Give yourself just 1 hour of completely untracked, low expectation time before sleep. Read a trashy fiction book. Have a real conversation with your partner without a screen between you. Stare at the ceiling and let your thoughts wander. Let your mind finally breathe and reset. Protecting your peace at night ensures you don't wake up carrying yesterday's heavy stress directly into tomorrow morning. Building happiness as a daily habit doesn't mean you will magically never have a bad day again. That's a fantasy. You will absolutely have rough days. You'll get angry, you'll get stressed out, and you'll want to throw your hands up in the air and give up sometimes. That is completely normal, healthy, and human. The goal here isn't to become a toxic positivity robot smiling blankly through a massive storm. The goal is simply to build a safe, stable home inside your mind that is easy to return to once the storm passes. It's not about being perfect. It's about direction. It's about choices. Choosing the 30-second pause when things get hectic. Choosing the kinder, reframed word when you feel frustrated. Choosing to protect your evening from the endless digital noise. These tiny choices stack up over time, changing your entire baseline. If any of this simple, real-world talk resonated with you today, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button right now. Leave a comment below sharing which specific practice you're going to try tomorrow morning, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss our weekly chats on building a life that actually feels genuinely good on the inside. If you want to read the full deep dive breakdown of these habits with even more practical, real-life strategies you can apply today, head over to blog atwww.DIYwomanlifestyle.com. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time hanging out with me today. Take a deep breath, protect your inner peace, and I will see you in the very next video. Bye for now.